Hello, currently, there are 8 countries in the world that openly admit to possessing nuclear weapons. Among them, the 5 major nuclear powers are Russia, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and China. The remaining 3 countries have refused to sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and have continued to conduct nuclear weapons tests. These countries are India, Pakistan, and finally, North Korea. Of the 8 countries, North Korea is the most reckless and dangerous. According to the Foreign Relations Council, North Korea has over 60 nuclear weapons and has successfully tested a missile that can reach the United States and even the Washington, D.C. area. This is causing great concern around the world. Why is North Korea able to produce nuclear weapons despite being under sanctions? Let's find out in today's video. First of all, in order to manufacture nuclear weapons, the countries need the necessary technology and expertise. As we all know, World War II ended with 2 atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. At that moment, North Korea realized that, without nuclear weapons, they would not be respected. Any country that possesses them holds a great deal of power over others. When the Korean peninsula was divided, South Korea had the backing of the United States, while North Korea was under sanctions. Therefore, it was essential for North Korea to develop their own weapons of mass destruction. In 1956, Chairman Kim Il-sung ordered his scientists to research the necessary technology. On the other hand, North Korea also sought help from the Soviet Union, as the enemy of enemy is friend. Not wanting the United States to have too much influence, the Soviet Union agreed to help. As a result, some of North Korea's technical experts traveled to Moscow to learn about atomic weapons. In just 2 years, with the help of the Soviet Union, North Korea built a nuclear center called Yongbyon. The Yongbyon plant used uranium as fuel, and run by good brains and many wrinkles. The plant continued to increase its capacity, and by 1980, North Korea had mastered the basic technology of nuclear weapons. North Korea expanded and built another plant without seeking funding for it. However, somehow this news still reached investors. Recognized the potential danger of players North Korea's. In 1985, pressure from other players forced North Korea to sign the Non-Proliferation Treaty. However, before the ink on the treaty had dried, North Korea refused to allow International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors to check their facilities. It took 7 years before North Korea finally allowed experts to visit and inspect their Yongbyon nuclear center. As a result, they discovered plutonium, a radioactive material used to make nuclear weapons. So, the rooster didn't crow anymore. In 1994, North Korea agreed to freeze the production of plutonium in exchange for oil, food, and 2 nuclear power plants to serve the daily lives of its people. But the story between North Korea and the rest of the world is longer than the TV series The Child Bride. After this incident, other countries continued to put pressure on North Korea, but courage of this country proportional to the body of leader Kim Jong-un. Behind the scenes, North Korea continued to secretly produce nuclear weapons. Then came the endless negotiations. Even this 5 video couldn't cover everything. Up to 2004, North Korea's nuclear program was confirmed by Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, the father of Pakistan's nuclear program, who admitted to helping North Korea in their nuclear program. Well, which can't buy with money, then can buy with a lot of money. North Korea did just that and succeeded. In 2006, the country conducted its first nuclear test, marking the presence of destructive weapons in their country. Wait a minute, isn't North Korea under sanctions? How do they have the money to build all this? Building a reactor or a uranium enrichment facility costs between $2.8 and $3.2 billion. First of all, the money comes from smuggling counterfeit goods, especially fake money. Since 1970, North Korea has been involved in the production of counterfeit money. To produce 1 million fake bills, it costs about 500,000 real dollars. It's unbelievable but true. By 2001, the country had released about $100 million worth of counterfeit money, earning $15 to $25 million a year. Even the US was impressed by this super counterfeiting ability. Therefore, they had to redesign the $100 bill. In addition to selling fake money, North Koreans abroad also sell fake medicine to actively bring foreign currency back to the country. Secondly, since 1980, North Korea has become an arms dealer, supplying weapons to Iran and earning over $4 billion. To earn more money for their nuclear program, North Korea also provided a nuclear reactor to Syria, but it was later bombed by Iceland, leaving the reactor only in ruins. Bad luck. Thirdly, a fairly important source of income for North Korea is supplying mineral resources, clothing, and textiles to China. In exchange, North Korea receives oil, car machinery, and electronics. Fourthly, to earn more foreign currency, North Korea actively sends its workers abroad. In 2015 alone, 50,000 workers abroad sent $1.3 billion back to North Korea. This alarmed the US, prompting them to call for cutting back on North Korean labor abroad. Fifthly, necessity knows no law. North Korea, along with hackers, was reported by the United Nations in 2020 to have stolen about $2 billion from foreign financial and banking institutions. This money flows into serving the country's military budget. Finally, in order for the state to have money to manufacture weapons and occasionally show off to its opponents, the North Korean people have to suffer any more than anyone else. The Kaesong industrial complex of the country, as an economic development cooperation with South Korea, has been operating since 2004, with 54,000 workers. The amount that companies pay is in dollars, but when it reaches the workers, it is converted into the North Korean won at a rate determined by the state. However, in early 2016, South Korea closed the industrial complex after a series of nuclear tests and missile launches by North Korea. In summary, to have nuclear weapons like today, North Korea has used many diplomatic and commercial tricks. However, no matter what, we must acknowledge that North Korea is very skilled in developing nuclear weapons in such a sanctioned context. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave your comments and subscribe now to never miss a video, and let's learn together. See you again.